this is any restaurant. If it's my name, it ain't me. I don't know if I just blew the spot up everybody, but it ain't me.
No, you definitely did. You just
it
ruined it.
Bro. I'm
Thanks a lot, Keith. You just
I'm sorry.
ruined this shit for all of
us.
us.
It ain't me.
What's going on, guys? I'm Speedy, and the name of this show is 360 with Speedy, and today I'm joined by maybe the hottest person on the internet, the guy when it comes to food these days. Keith Lee is in the building.
I'm honored.
Keith, what's up, man? How are you?
This is a dream come true, bro. This is surreal for me. Yeah, I'm just thankful to be here. Yeah,
what about it is a dream come true?
Complex, one. Talking to you, two. Seeing my face up here, seeing my name, my family here with me. My wife watching me. Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a moment.
That's crazy.
Well, welcome to New York. We're so happy to have
bro.
you in the city. I'm born and raised here, so on behalf of all New Yorkers, welcome. You've been busy the last couple days, it seems, but you always got stuff going on, just in general in life. How's Keith Lee doing right now?
Keith Lee is thankful, man. I'm thankful. I'm appreciative. Last year, at like January or December, everything started for us. Or beginning of January this year. So everything really started. It's only been a year. So to be here now and talking to you and then being in rooms like this or just experiencing things that we experiencing, yeah, it's surreal, bro. It's surreal.
Man, well, congratulations. I can't think of someone more deserving. Let's talk about the beginning days for Keith Lee. You come from Detroit, a family of four, Cameron, Kevin, Irma, and you.
You did your research. Like you said, it's 3 or 4 of us in this house, and we in a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, and we on 7 Mile and Outer Drive or Joy Road to Evergreen in the middle of the hood. It's like I didn't realize that until I left and came back and was like, oh, we was really living like this.
And obviously today you do food reviews, but it seems like maybe this is all serendipitous because your story kind of begins in the food space. You used to work at Jimmy John's, and you also worked at Sweet Tomato. You also worked at H&M, A6, where you met your wife. You were also doing Postmates.
You did a great job, bro. I'm impressed.
Were you just did you approach the workplace like you approached school in which you were getting expelled a lot, or did you just like new and fresh job opportunities and careers?
So I only got fired from one job, and that was Jimmy John's. But all the other jobs, I quit. So yeah, I've never been good with authority. But once I became old enough, I took the control in my own hands, and I started making my own decisions. So instead of getting fired, I just was like, I'm not coming back. Yeah, like A6, I didn't go back. H&M, I never went back.
Yeah, but A6, you didn't have to go back because you went in there, you secured the bag, you got your queen, and you got up out of there.
Absolutely.
So the mission was accomplished.
Yeah, and it was maybe like, I was only working at A6 for like 3 weeks.
That's all it takes. All it takes is one link to really have fireworks in the eyes of the person you're looking at. After that job, I know that you had aspirations to be an Instagram comedian.
I did.
Who were some of the people that you were looking at the time as maybe inspiration or people that you thought were funny?
Meech on Mars, Demetrius Harmon. He was definitely like that. He was really big on Vine.
Yeah.
I believe her name is like Quinn Blackwell.
Oh yeah.
She was real big.
Okay.
So that was Blame It on Quay. Yeah. He was real big. So that's the era that I grew up in.
Right.
It's like those people.
Got you. Okay. So how did then we start with TikTok? What was, obviously TikTok is what popped and has in a way changed your life.
Absolutely. Not in a way, completely changed my life.
Completely changed your life?
Night and day, yeah.
What was the origin of TikTok? What made you say, hey, this is an app that I'm gonna download before you even started making TikToks?
So that was maybe, I would say like 8 or 9 years gap in between there. In those 8, 9 years, I was only focused on professional fighting. I wasn't focused on anything else. I met my wife in that span, and literally it was just us, my brother, and fighting. That's all I really had to focus on. But at this time, my social anxiety is still terrible. It's through the roof. I'm doing interviews for Bellator, and I'm noticing when I'm doing interviews, I'm jittery, I'm nervous, I'm sweating. I don't like anything about it at all. So we sitting in the house, and I asked my wife, I was like, what can I do to make my social anxiety any better? And she was like, just pick up a camera and start talking. And I was like, okay. TikTok had just came out at this point, or I think it was out maybe like a year before then, but it had just, during the quarantine, everybody was on it. So I picked it up, and this was when people were still getting talked about for having TikTok. People were like, that's a kid's app. Right. What are you doing? So I picked it up, and I literally would just set the camera up, and I would just talk to it like it was 300 people standing in front of me, just to get comfortable with my anxiety.
What was the emotion you felt when you finally hit 1 million followers. Not what that meant for your life, not how it changed you, but when you opened the app and you saw the number 1.0 M. Do you remember what it felt like?
I vividly remember it. It was surreal, but it wasn't like, again, I wasn't really making much money off of it. So it was more or less of like, I don't care about the money. I don't care about the opportunities. I just can't believe 1 million people want to see anything that I'm talking about.
Right.
So I've always, and something about me, I've never paid attention to the financial aspect of life, because I genuinely think what makes you rich is the experiences you have and the people that you have around you to experience it with you, and that you can enjoy it with. I think that's what really makes a rich man. And to have 1 million people around me, I was running around my house freaking out. Yeah, I was jumping up and down, crying like a baby. Yeah, I was freaking out.
That's a beautiful thing. But you mentioned it, and it's something I wanted to ask you about. You weren't making any money, even with 1 million followers. And a lot of people may think, oh, you got 1 million followers, you're rich. But that's not always the case.
I was making money, but candidly, I was making like 1,000 a month, 2,000 a month.
Yeah.
Which is in our climate nowadays, that don't even pay the rent.
Right. It's not enough to sustain a lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the actual content of the videos.
Let's do it.
You've posted food reviews in Las Vegas for a while, and then you started the food tour. Right now we're in New York. It's one of your stops.
We are.
You've also been in Houston. You've also been in Atlanta. Where else have you been thus far?
Atlanta, Houston, New Orleans, Detroit, Los Angeles, and Vegas.
Okay, and many more stops to come, I imagine.
We're at the very beginning.
Yeah, I want to talk about Atlanta. Your time in Atlanta.
Let's do it.
It seemed like it was a polarizing moment for a lot of people on social media. It seemed like some people were upset, and then there was also a lot of people who were like, man, his experience he's having in Atlanta is the exact experience that I've had in Atlanta, which is maybe not one that includes good service, or maybe it's one that, I feel like I'm paying too much. How would you describe your time in Atlanta, and then how would you describe like everything that came after your time in Atlanta?
Different. Atlanta was different for sure. I think what it was that people were getting the message of what I do confused. A lot of people wanted me to go to either super popular spots, or they wanted me to go to spots that they had a negative experience at, and wanted me to like shine light on the negative experience just to tear the business down so they can feel vindicated. And that's not what I do. That's never been what I do. It was more, I'm trying to find the words. It was more a place that people wanted to see the negativity. I think that's what it was. I think people enjoyed the rise of like, oh, he don't like this place, or he can't get food at this place, or he get negative service. And I think some of it was based on the fact that a lot of people had the same experiences, like you said. But I also think some of it was based on the fact that I very rarely are in positions of any kind of negativity, no matter what the perspective of it is, or how you look, or what narrative you push on. I think when we got to Atlanta, when we went to the first spot and we didn't have the best service, or the service was different because the rules out there are different, people immediately gravitated towards that, and they immediately was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm tuning in for. It was surreal, but it didn't bother me. It never bothers me when people come at me. I say this all the time. You could talk about me 1,000 times, it don't bother me. My skin is very thick because I'm very confident and very rooted in who I am. And I believe in God. I feel like he's made me exactly who I'm supposed to be, how I'm supposed to be there. So I never get bothered when people talk about me. I don't like when people go at the businesses. Or I don't like when people go at my family. That's the only time I ever speak up. When you go at my family, or when you go at the businesses, that's when I'm like, okay, that's where I draw the line.
What was it like then for you to see someone like Cardi B go on a public forum and be like, yo, first of all, shout out to Keith Lee, because she knew who you were, she knew your content, but then also to have had similar experiences and share her story. What was that like for you, watching one of the biggest superstars in the world?
We are people. So I'm one of those people. Again, I still have my introverted ways, and I still have my reclusive ways. So when it comes to celebrities, I don't really pay attention to nobody. I love Cardi B as a person, or as what she shows on the internet as a person, because I don't know her personally. But I just love the fact that somebody with a platform as large as hers was coming out and saying like, hey, I had these same experiences. And it made it more humanized to be like, hey, these experiences aren't okay. For her to have to name drop to get food, for her to have to say like, hey, my name is Cardi B, that's the only way you can get food somewhere, and not the money that people have to like hard hardly earned, like that's hard earned money that
Yeah.
people are making. And it's like my mom-in-law was with us. My mom-in-law is 60 years old. Like she was like, I just want food. Like every time we were going around and we were sitting in the car afterwards, she was like, they won't serve me and it's really pissing me off.
Yeah.
So it's like for somebody like her with a huge platform to speak up and make it more of a known thing, I appreciate it. If you're from there and you live in that environment, you don't know no different.
Yeah.
So you like, how dare you come into, this is something that's with New York too. People who are very loyal to where they come from, it's a lot of cities that have that ingrained patriotism to their city, and like that ingrained, like, I'm from New York, or like I'm from Atlanta. Like this is my city. You don't come here and talk about my city if you're not from here. So I could have said anything. If it wasn't what they wanted to hear, it would have been like, man, you're not from here. Get out of it. Like New York,
then just leave if you don't like
immediately. Like everybody since we've been here has been like, I went and got a salmon chopped cheese. Everybody was like, you got a salmon chopped cheese, bro. Get out of New York. Even though I was suggested to go there, they was like, bro, get him out of here. I didn't know that salmon chopped cheese was a thing. This is my first time really eating around New York. So, but again, I get it. People love New York, who are from New York are like, bro, you not from New York. You can't have no say so on New York food. It's the same about Atlanta. So I get it. I understand.
Fair. Let's talk about this salmon chopped cheese, because I too am a born and raised New Yorker. And I saw you, or someone maybe recommended you a salmon chopped cheese before.
I saw a small black-owned business that just opened that don't have a marketing, because they had like 400 followers on TikTok or like 1,000 followers on Instagram, and not a lot of people were talking about them. So I was like, okay, this is right up my alley. This is the place to go. I looked at it from that perspective. I didn't look at it from a perspective of, oh, I'm going to a New York staple and I want a New York staple. Let me go get a chopped cheese. Okay. I looked at it from a perspective of like, I'm looking for places that have good food, good customer service, but need marketing. And that sound like, to me, it fell right in line. But when I went, people got completely wrapped up in the fact that I got a salmon chopped cheese, rather than the fact that this is a business that just opened that could use marketing.
Sure.
And again, it's perspective. Its perspective is the narrative that's built, and I just didn't have the time to get in front of the narrative, and the narrative went from me going to a small business to me disrespecting New York by getting a salmon chopped cheese. So again, it was one of those things where I was going to make a video to clear it up, but no better platform than Complex.
There you go.
Yeah, for sure.
So I have to share my opinion on it.
Absolutely.
I was out of town the last couple of days. I just got back. But I'm on the timeline, and I see some people that I know who are also born and raised New Yorkers tweeting about or TikToking about the fact that you had a salmon chopped cheese. And I, for a second, felt dumb, because I was like, what the fuck is a salmon chopped cheese? I'm from here. I've never even heard of that. So I'm like, did I just miss some shit? Like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
But then I started seeing everyone else had the same sentiment. I was like, okay,
everybody, yeah.
I'm not
everybody,
like,
yeah.
What is a salmon chopped cheese? Yeah. And then and at that point, I was faced with the dilemma. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I know the type of content you make, and I know what the goal is. But at the same time, I'm like, it would make sense for him to come and eat something here that is a staple.
Absolutely.
So I was like, why a salmon chopped cheese? But then I remembered that, bro, you're not from here. People are recommending shit to you.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
So you're just gonna go where somebody says, hey, check this spot out. So that was the crossroads that I came to, and I decided, I was like, you know what? I fuck with him for at least trying to put on for a small business. But I was confused.
I get it.
Never heard of it.
I get it.
Salmon chop, I didn't know.
I think
didn't ring a bell.
I think New York is one of those places that's it's really hard to break new things to.
Oh yeah.
It's a market that is rooted in their traditions and rooted in what they do. So to try to break that and try to be different, there's not a place for that. So it's like I appreciate and I respect Taste Buds. That's the name of it, Taste Buds Deli. I respect and I appreciate what they do, and to have the gall and the I can cuss.
Yeah.
To have the balls to do that in New York.
Right.
You can't do that but take your hat off for it.
You guys salute.
And I had no intentions on that being the narrative that was pushed. Again, like the confusion that was left. My intentions were to go to a smaller spot and try something new. But I get in retrospect how I looked, and all I genuinely have to say is shout out to Taste Buds. Yeah, shout out to that.
Beautiful. Put a button on it.
Absolutely.
And we move on.
Yeah.
All right. I have a bunch of friends who use you.
What you mean?
I hate to say it. I mean, I'm sure you know this, but a bunch of my friends use you, and a bunch of people, strangers you probably don't know, use you as well.
What do you mean?
All of us
All
order delivery all the time. You know what I'm saying? I myself don't cook, so I order food every single day. One little hack that a lot of people do is they change their name on their Uber Eats account or their DoorDash account, and they change their name to Keith Lee. Because they figure the restaurant will see the name Keith Lee and be like, oh shit, let me make sure this is the best fucking thing we have to offer. When did you find out that people do this? And do you co-sign, do you stamp this, or do you think they should?
First, shout out to DoorDash. That's number one. Two, that's crazy that works because I don't even put my own name when I go to a restaurant. So I don't understand how places really will be like, and I've seen the aftermath of it. Like, it was a place in, he was like in Buffalo, New York, I think. He was either in Buffalo, he was somewhere like uptown New York, and he had put my name on an order, and they brought him 6 different bags of food and like left a message and said, thank you so much. You just made my day. My wife is screaming and crying. I can't believe that you coming here. And I just like, why would I be in upstate New York and not tell anybody?
I'm at the crib.
I'm at the house.
Socks are off.
I'm
watching
Vegas,
TV.
Bro. But again, it never bothered me. It never bothered me. I really like DoorDash, so I use DoorDash a lot. It don't bother me from a perspective of people use my name. I just don't like when the small restaurants are the ones who get their hopes up, and the small restaurants are the ones that like, oh, this is my big break. And a lot of times, these restaurants that I'm talking about are places that can't afford rent. They can't afford to feed their families. They can't afford to put their kids in school. They can't afford to take their kids to school. So these are people's livelihoods. Yeah. And I understand with great power comes great responsibility. And I appreciate when people use my name, but I just don't want those restaurants to be like, oh, we about to make it. And then it's just some random dude with 6 bags of food passing it out to people. Like, it's like, I get it. It come with it. Or it's Speedy sitting on his couch eating ramen. Like, I get it. I get it. It don't ever bother me. I just be feeling bad for the restaurants that be having their hopes up. But this is for any restaurant. If it's my name, it ain't me. I don't know if I just blew the spot up everybody, but it ain't me.
No, you definitely did. You just ruined it.
Bro.
Thanks a lot, Keith. You just
I'm sorry.
Ruined this shit for all of
us.
us.
It ain't me. I never put my name.
There's a lot of people out there who look at your journey and are inspired. And so for the people out there who are watching, maybe the people on TikTok who are watching, what would you recommend? What's the best way for someone to start their journey? And how would you recommend, or what advice would you have for people who are trying to create a TikTok channel, TikTok page, TikTok content?
From a TikTok perspective, I'll give a business answer. It's consistency. Consistency is the biggest thing. For the last, we in 23, so the last 3 years, going on 4 years, I posted at least once a day. It used to be 4 times a day, but then it got scaled back to twice. Now it's once a day. But it's just consistency. Consistency, make it something that what I always tell my wife is, make something that you will be confident and comfortable with if it did blow up. And that you would be happy doing it for the rest of your life or doing for a long period of time. Now, the non-business answer is I have no idea. I have no idea. I pray. I have no idea how I got here. If it wasn't for prayer and if it wasn't for my family, I can honestly and confidently tell you I wouldn't be here right now. Sorry, I'm getting choked up. I would be here right now. I'm thankful for everybody that's in my corner, and I'm thankful for the journey that God has put me on. But if it was up to me, I'd probably be dead, bro. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting choked up. I was going down a path of, like I said, I've had seasonal depression. So I was going down a path of destruction, and I was going down a path where I didn't value myself because I didn't think people valued me. So if you asking me, what's the key to success? It's just pray. It's just pray. If you believe in God and you believe that you are on the journey that you're supposed to be on, just stay next to Him and stay next to the people that's around you. It wasn't supposed to get that deep. It wasn't supposed to get that deep, Speedy.
It's all good. It's all good.
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever wake up and look, or
every day?
Does it ever?
I know exactly what you're about to say. Every day.
Do you have those and maybe what are they like when you have moments when you're like, wait a sec, like it just hits you again, like, whoa, what the fuck, like 15 million, or like?
When I'm not lying to you, every single day. Every day I wake up and I have, it's my children. That's what, you about to make me choke again. It's my children. When I look at them and I can see, again, I never thought that I would have children. I never thought I would be married. I never thought I would be 27. I never thought that I would be sitting on a complex stage talking to Speedy. I never thought that I would be in any of these rooms. So when I look at my children and my daughter runs up and she says, Daddy, I love you, or Daddy, God damn it. But she says like, Daddy, I love you. I get to a place where I'm like, this is crazy.
I'm glad we got to do this, bro.
This is an honor of mine, bro.
Yeah, it felt serendipitous. I randomly was on TikTok Live a couple of days ago, and I saw you had popped in for a second.
It's crazy that you knew who I was. I got on your TikTok, and I think I said, like, God bless you or something, bro. And you was like, is that Keith Lee? And I was like, what? I started looking around like, what are you talking about? He can't be talking about me. And yeah, I'm just happy I'm here, bro.
Bro,
Yeah,
I didn't even see the comments. Someone in the comments was like, oh my God, Keith Lee's here.
Fire.
And I was like, let's make sure this is the real Keith Lee before.
For anybody on TikTok, I'd be just scrolling. People be so confused when I be on TikTok Live. I just be scrolling.
I was confused.
I'd be in people TikTok Lives with like 200 followers, 1,000 followers. I just be scrolling, bro.
Just in traditional Keith Lee fashion, while sitting like this.
That's fire.
How would you rate this interview on a scale from 1 to 10?
You want me to be honest with you?
Of course.
I was going to give you a 10, but you almost made me cry. I did a really good, I'm a thug. I did a real good job of stucking it back in. We had a 9.
Okay, I'll take the 9.
For sure.
I'll take the 9.
For sure. You almost made me cry twice, too.
I'm sorry, bro.
You good.
I'm sorry. Lastly here, you had a salmon chopped cheese when you were in New York. Have you had a real chopped cheese
I
yet?
did. At the end of the day, it's just a sandwich with like chopped up hamburger. They about to hate me for that, but it's just a
they're
sandwich
gonna
with
kill you
chopped up
for that one.
hamburger. But it's one of those things where I feel like it's rooted in nostalgia. And again, I don't know how to eat it or know how to order it because I'm not from New York.
Well, I want to give the opportunity for that to change a little bit. So we have a couple chopped cheeses here. We have a few, yes.
Okay.
I hope you're hungry.
If they wasn't mad at me before, they definitely gonna be mad at me
Well,
now.
let's see. Maybe you'll have good things to say. So we have 3 different chopped cheeses.
I don't mean no harm.
Keith, we need you to be honest. We have 3 different chopped cheeses that we're gonna have you taste and give us a rating out of 10.
You're not gonna say the name of the businesses just in case I don't like them.
Oh, do you want me to not say the name?
I only go to restaurants that either invite me specifically or I've been recommended 1,000 times. So that way, if I do give an honest score and it's low, like a 6 or a 5, or even if it's lower than that, I can stand on the fact that, hey, you invited me, you asked me for my opinion.
So we'll do it in a fair way. So this chopped cheese is from Manhattan. We'll keep it broad for now. This is a Midtown Manhattan chopped cheese. In fact, it's from right up the block.
Again, it looks like hamburger, cheese, tomatoes, mayo, and lettuce. Am I missing something?
Love, maybe? Passion? Heritage?
What kind of bread is this?
This is just a roll.
Okay.
So you only can get a chopped cheese.
Is that how you order it?
Yeah, you either get a chopped cheese in a roll or a chopped cheese in a hero.
Okay.
That's it.
You ready?
Okay, let's do it. Not it.
It's dry. In my opinion.
Dry.
It's pretty dry.
It's crazy because I just bit it and I'm like, damn, this is kind of good.
Again, everybody's taste buds is different.
It's a
Everybody's
testament
experience is
to
different.
how people's taste buds.
It's seasoned well. It's dry in my opinion though. It definitely could use a sauce or like, let's say some more ketchup. It's seasoned a little too well too.
It's a little over seasoned.
My salt threshold is different than everybody else's, as yours is too.
Yes.
What would you get this?
Would I give this? I would give this like in the chopped cheese spectrum, I would give this like a 7.7.
Not like a 4.5.
4.5. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like a 4.5.
That's fine.
Maybe 5.
It's
Yeah.
That's fair because this is like a Midtown Manhattan chopped cheese.
Understood.
So like no real culture behind it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't expect it to be higher than that. All right, here we go. This is option number 2. I don't want to. This
looks
is
better.
also from Manhattan.
It looks a lot better.
I'll
Can a
keep
camera
it.
see that? It looks a lot better.
All
It's a
right.
lot more cheese.
Let's do it.
This is not just ketchup though.
This is, I believe
This
this
is
is ketchup, mayo, lettuce, tomato.
This has more mayo in it than the other one. Let's see. Way better. It's much better. It's still not amazing in my opinion, but it's much better. This is close to what I had in Brooklyn.
But still not as good.
This is reminiscent to what I had in Brooklyn. If I gave the Brooklyn one mid 7s, low 8s, I would get this like a low 7, mid 7. So like a 7.3.
Okay, though.
Yeah, much higher than the
Big
first
jump from the first one.
one. Much better. It's more balanced than it is seasoned. The first one was just, didn't have much seasonings, it just had salt. This one has a lot more seasonings, a lot more balanced flavor. And it's a lot, like I said, a lot juicier. A lot more mayo and cheese. But it's still not one of the craziest things I've had. What would you
Okay.
give it?
Without naming the spot, let me give you a little context.
What would you give it first?
I've had it better when it was fresh off the grill. Right now, I would give this like a 7, like a 7.8.
That's not bad.
Let me give you a little context on this spot.
Alright, I'm listening.
This is what many consider the best chopped cheese there is. Without naming the spot, this too is considered by many to be the home of the chopped cheese.
He not from New York. Get him out of here.
Yeah, you're gonna, yeah.
He gotta go.
This is
That's hilarious.
I mean, it's like urban legend as to like what the actual origin is, but some say that the chopped cheese was invented at this place.
Everybody taste buds is different, so it's just my opinion.
Fair.
I don't know harm.
Yeah, you just listen. You like something you don't like. And you didn't say you didn't like it. We'll leave it.
7 is
vague.
pretty high for me. 7 is pretty. It's not the highest. Like I said, it's not amazing to me, but it's. I would eat it. I would eat it and not complain. Like, let's get that very clear. I would eat it, but I wouldn't eat it and be like, oh, this, you gotta come to New York for this chopped cheese.
Right. All right, let's see. Option number 3.
This is my least favorite. It's all ketchup. That's the only thing.
Maybe just that bite you got was all
Yeah,
ketchup.
let me try. God, dude.
He said, "Golly, yo, he hates it."
Come on, Speedy.
I'm doing your. I'm doing.
Please
your
don't tell me this is one of the best chopped cheeses in New York.
Taste it first, and then we need your honest opinion. Damn, he hates it.
All of that support that Cardi B just gave, she about to renege all of that. She about to be like, I can see it on the Shade Room right now. Cardi B now hates Keith Lee.
Well, funny
I
enough,
see it.
Cardi B owns this deli. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just playing. I'm just fucking with you. His life flashed before his eyes just now. Damn.
Yeah, it's my least favorite.
Still trash.
This ketchup. Do you taste just ketchup or you taste more flavors?
I don't know.
It's choking me up. All right.
You getting emotional or
Sorry. No,
choking you
no,
up because
no.
it's that dry?
Yeah. It's not super dry. It's just very tomato based. Like, I taste straight tomato. I taste a little bit of, I taste straight tomato sauce. Then I taste a little bit of tomatoes because it's a very big chunks of tomato. And then I get a little bit of ground beef and cheese, but for the most part, it's just like a ketchup sandwich.
Yo.
Yeah, I'm at like a 2.
It's a 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, fair. What's been the low? Have you ever given something that low of a rating?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay. Well, this is from a spot in Queens that one of our producers very much likes, and we won't name the place because you hate it.
I appreciate you.
But I'm glad you liked one of the 3, kind of.
Yeah. The second one was good.
It may be safe to come to the consensus. Maybe you just don't fuck with chopped cheeses like that.
I don't think that's fair to say because I had a chopped cheese that was really good.
So you don't want another one?
Absolutely not.
Because we had another one for you to take home.
Appreciate it.
Maybe for the family.
You got it. You can take it home. What did you get at, Speedy?
I would give this one, in the setting that I just had it, I would give it like a 4.5.
I feel like if I wasn't sitting here, you wouldn't say that.
What do you think I would say?
At 8?
No.
It looked like you enjoyed it.
No. First of all,
It's
you
okay to enjoy it. We
first
have
of all,
different taste buds.
First of all, you took more bites than I did.
I think you're lying. It's okay to enjoy it. We have different taste buds.
What-
You don't have to dislike
let
what
me
I
ask you
dislike.
this.
I
What-
genuinely don't think you would have get it at 4. You've
What-
been there before, and you will go there again.
Who said I've been here before?
You were there yesterday. Yeah, that's the vibe I get. I
What
get that
about-
you just said the producer really liked it.
So one of our producers recommended it.
I think you said that instead of saying, hey, this is one of my favorite spots and you hurt my feelings. I think you said one of my producers.
What about me and this bite makes you think that I enjoyed it though?
Because you were a lot more quiet with that one than you were with the other ones. You immediately gave me a rebuttal with the other ones. With that one, you just ate it and waited to see what I was gonna say. Because if I would have said it was probably 8, you would have been like, "Thank you," because this is my favorite spot.
So you think I'm a liar?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Keith,
I genuinely don't think you get it a 4. There's no way.
I can honestly attest to the fact that this shit was whack. It really was.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you for 1 second.
Keith, after what we've been through,
you.
Keith, we almost cried together. I wouldn't lie to
That
you.
makes me not believe you even more.
Keith,
I
I
don't
wouldn't lie.
believe you. I don't believe you. You genuinely give it a 4?
No, genuinely, in this setting, this bite that I just had was a 4.
Do I believe you still? No. But
Okay, what do you think I would have rated? Like it's a 9.5?
like a 7.
No. Well, look, the one thing is the world, including myself, will never know what I would have rated it without your influence. Although I can't stand on the fact that I think I would have said the same number.
Understood.
Keith, I appreciate you pulling up,
This
man.
is an honor of mine, man. This is dope.
I had a great time hanging out with you
Same,
today.
same.
What's next? What's coming?
Whenever I'm supposed to be at. God is always watching over me. So the main reason we even start going on food tour is because a lot of TV shows or TV producers reach out to us and they wanted us to do a TV show, but they wanted us to do it the way they wanted us to do it. It's kind of like they already had a show in place and they just wanted to plug us as like the host or plug me as the host and then X my family out, and I've never been that kind of person. So this is kind of like a pilot that we shoot, and once we done and we go to a lot more cities and we take back not only the testimonies from other people, but the blessings that we've been able to not only bestow upon ourselves, but bestow upon everybody else that we've encountered. Once we take that to those TV producers and those shows, I think something big is coming.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. Well, I'm glad I got you on my show now before you're too big to pull up.
Appreciate you.
Congratulations on everything, bro. God is amazing.
Honor.
So this is actually from my corner store, right by my crib.
You lying.